I don't know. I quite enjoyed it. Will the lift be working now?
What if I told you there was a show about living hats, a flying car that zaps people, and a housewife stuck in space? Yep, the 70s were wild. In this video, we're going back to the weirdest corner of television history, the 1970s, to uncover some of the bizarre shows you probably never even knew existed. The last show even sends one literary classic to outer space. Ever watched a soap opera where everything feels totally normal, except people randomly die in the weirdest ways? That's Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. It's about this housewife, Mary, living in a quiet town that's not so quiet. One day someone gets murdered, then someone drowns, and the next day her neighbor loses it mentally. But no one really reacts like it's a big deal. Everyone's super calm, like it's just another day. That's what makes this show so weird and kind of funny. It's creepy, awkward, and oddly addictive. It feels like watching a horror movie disguised as a sitcom, and you're not sure whether to laugh or feel uncomfortable. But wait till you meet the talk show chaos of Fernwood Tonight. This one's like a fake talk show, but it feels way too real.
I've actually never seen a real live Jew before, and
Fernwood Tonight is set in a tiny town and stars two guys, Bart and Jerry, who pretend to host a late-night talk show. But here's the twist. They're absolutely clueless. The interviews are cringy, the guests are random, and most of the time you're not even sure what's going on. It's like your local cable channel trying to copy Jimmy Fallon with zero budget and way too much confidence. Sometimes it's awkward, sometimes it's hilarious, and sometimes it just leaves you sitting there like, what did I just watch? Now that we've survived that mess, let's turn the crazy up a notch with alien abductions and ghosts in soap. Okay, this show is insane. Soap is a total parody of soap operas, and it goes all in. There's ghosts, alien kidnappings, exorcisms, and a possessed priest, and even a baby born without a shadow. No joke. You never know what's coming next. One second someone's getting married, the next second they're rising from the dead. It's like the writers had a wild imagination and no one said no.
You could give me a sign, but nothing crazy now. Please. Goodbye.
But somehow it's all played for laughs. The show keeps jumping between creepy, weird, and funny in seconds. The best part? Everyone acts like these insane things are just totally normal. But how about a world ruled by talking hats? Welcome to Lidsville. It starts with a kid named Mark, who falls into a magician's hat and ends up in Lidsville, a strange land where every single character is a talking hat. There are cowboy hats, pirate hats, chef hats, and even an evil wizard hat named Hoodoo, who wants to take over everything. It's super colourful and wild, and it feels like a cartoon, even though it's live action. The hats have faces and voices, and they argue, dance, and go on weird adventures. Some episodes are cute, others are just plain weird. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, but instead of rabbits and queens, it's all hats. Still not weird enough? Well, let's fly into the forest with a bug band in the Bugaloos. This show is straight up wild. It's about four British teens dressed like bugs who live in a magical forest. Oh, and they have wings, and they can fly, and they're also a rock band. They spend their time making music, flying around, and just vibing in nature, until this crazy bird witch named Benita Bizarre shows up. She lives in a giant jukebox and literally hates the Bugaloos because they're more talented than her. Every episode she tries to mess up their lives and cancel their concerts, but the Bugaloos always manage to outsmart her with kindness, friendship, and of course music. Now ditch the forest and grab a spacesuit. It's time for trash duty in Quark. Quark is like Star Wars, but if everyone worked in garbage and had no clue what they were doing. Captain Quark leads a space crew that picks up trash across the galaxy. Yes, their whole mission is cleaning up space litter. But the best part? Everything goes wrong. There are mutant aliens, exploding trash bags, and the weirdest sci-fi problems you can think of.
You never mentioned a UTE bomb.
I specifically remember telling you.
Forget the bomb!
The crew is super dysfunctional. Like, they're supposed to be saving the galaxy from trash, but they usually end up making it worse. Cleaning up space is fun. But getting shrunk by a mad scientist, well, that's Dr. Shrinker madness. Imagine going on a plane ride and crash landing on an island, only to get shrunk to the size of a Barbie doll. That's basically what happens in Dr. Shrinker. 3 teenagers crash on an island and get captured by a mad scientist who shrinks them down to 6 inches tall. Now, every episode is just them trying to avoid getting caught while being tiny.
Well, now it's time to find out where my dumb brother disappeared to.
What disappeared? I'm standing right here.
They ride bugs, hide in cups, and run from cats. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but made in the 70s with way cheaper effects. The villains are cheesy, the kids are always panicking, and everything looks giant next to them. Hold up. What if your junkyard car turned into a superhero? Wonderbug is next, and it's beyond bizarre. Wonderbug is about 3 teens who find a beat-up old car in a junkyard. But guess what? When they honk the horn, it magically turns into Wonderbug, a superhero dune buggy that can drive itself and fight crime. The car doesn't talk, but it beeps and zips around like it has a brain of its own. Together they go on adventures, chasing down crooks and weird villains. Wonderbug has powers too, like turning bad guys into goofy things, like statues or giving them giant mustaches. Yeah, it's super random. The whole show feels like Scooby-Doo meets Hot Wheels, but with more slapstick. And if you love superpowers, you'll love the spandex-powered chaos of Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. Before Wonder Woman hit theaters, there was Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. These 2 were daytime TV reporters who turned into sparkly superheroes after work. They had glowing bracelets, a hovercraft, and a mission to stop super weird villains like the Spider Lady and Glue Gun Louie. Their gadgets looked like they were made in someone's garage, but that was the fun of it. They'd zap bad guys with the laser beams and use their cosmic energizer devices to escape every trap. The acting was super dramatic, and the costumes full-on shiny spandex with capes. Now imagine if your scarecrow could talk and flirt. It's time for Wurzel Gummidge. This one's about a living scarecrow named Wurzel, who randomly comes to life and decides to hang out with a local family. He's super clumsy, talks in a goofy British accent, and constantly messes things up.
I'm sorry he wouldn't do that to poor old Wurzel. Was only trying to help out his Eminem. Push up!
But the weirdest part? He has different heads that he swaps out depending on his mood, like a thinking head or a flirty head. No, seriously, he even tries to date other scarecrows. It's kind of charming and kind of creepy, like if Winnie the Pooh was made out of straw and kept getting into trouble. And speaking of out-of-place characters, what happens when a British housewife ends up stuck in space? Say hello to Comeback Mrs. Noah. Mrs. Noah just wanted to win a contest and tour a spaceship. Easy, right? Well, not really. The ship launches by accident with only her on board. Now she's just floating around in space while scientists on Earth freak out and try to rescue her. Meanwhile, she's totally chill, knitting, sipping tea, and commenting on how messy space is. It's like watching someone's sweet grandma trapped in a sci-fi movie, but instead of panicking, she's being very British about it. The whole show is just filled with funny misunderstandings, polite panic, and random space gadgets. Let's keep it supernatural, because the next one is all about ghosts who rent themselves out. So get this, there's an actual ghost temp agency called Rentaghost. Dead people who can't move on decide to get jobs, like babysitting or haunting annoying neighbours. The agency is run by a Victorian gentleman, a medieval jester, and a bunch of other wild spirits. Things always go wrong though, because these ghosts are so bad at their jobs. They teleport accidentally, sneeze themselves into other rooms, and summon haunted horses that walk around like they own the place. The humour of Rentaghost is totally British, weird, random, and full of puns. Which of these shows made you say, wait, that was real? Let us know in the comments, and if you've seen any of them, you're officially a time-travelling TV expert.